Hello, beautiful soul. I want you to know that right now, in this very moment, you are exactly where you need to be. Whatever brought you here today, whatever challenges you're facing, whatever dreams you're holding close to your heart, they're all valid and they're all part of your perfect journey. I know life can feel overwhelming sometimes. There are days when it seems like nothing is working out the way we planned, when the same patterns keep repeating themselves, when we feel stuck in cycles that no longer serve us. Maybe you've been struggling with relationships that drain your energy, or perhaps you're dealing with financial stress that keeps you awake at night. You might be battling with self-doubt, wondering if you're worthy of the love and abundance you see others enjoying. Or maybe you're simply feeling disconnected from your own power, unsure of how to create the changes you desperately want to see in your life. These feelings are so natural, and you're not alone in experiencing them. Every single person who has ever lived has felt this way at some point. The beautiful truth is that these moments of uncertainty and discomfort are often the universe's way of preparing us for something magnificent. They're gentle nudges telling us that we're ready to grow, ready to step into a new version of ourselves, ready to experience life from a completely different perspective. What if I told you that there's something so simple, so accessible, yet so profoundly powerful that it could begin shifting everything in your life starting today? What if the answer you've been searching for doesn't require expensive courses, complicated techniques, or years of study? What if transformation could begin with something as basic as putting pen to paper? I've spent decades working with people from all walks of life, and I've witnessed countless miracles unfold through the most gentle, loving practices. People who thought they were beyond help, relationships that seemed impossible to heal, financial situations that appeared hopeless, all transformed through simple yet profound shifts in how we think, speak, and most importantly, how we write. You see, there's something magical that happens when we take our thoughts and transfer them onto paper. It's different from just thinking positive thoughts or even speaking affirmations aloud. When we write, we engage a different part of our consciousness, a deeper part that's connected to our heart, our soul, and our infinite capacity for change. Writing is one of humanity's most sacred acts. Long before we had computers or phones, people understood that putting words onto paper was a way of making the invisible visible, of taking what existed only in the realm of thought and bringing it into physical reality. When we write something down, we're essentially having a conversation with the universe, telling it exactly what we want to experience. But here's what many people don't understand about writing and transformation. It's not just about the words themselves, though they're certainly important. It's about the energy we put into those words, the intention behind them, and the faith we bring to the process. When we write with love, with hope, with genuine desire for positive change, we're literally rewiring our brains to support new patterns of thinking and being. The human brain is incredibly adaptable. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, but I like to think of it as our inner garden's ability to grow new flowers. Every time we write something positive about ourselves or our lives, we're planting seeds of possibility. Every time we repeat this process, we're watering those seeds, helping them grow stronger and more vibrant. There's also something profound that happens in our bodies when we write by hand. The physical act of forming letters, feeling the pen glide across the paper, watching the words appear, all of this creates a connection between our mind, our heart, and our hands. This connection helps ground our intentions in the physical world, making them more real, more tangible, more likely to manifest. Today, I want to share with you one specific practice that has created remarkable shifts for countless people. It's beautifully simple, yet its effects can be profound and long-lasting. This practice involves writing one particular statement 10 times, but before you think this sounds too easy or too good to be true, let me explain why this specific approach works so powerfully. The statement we're going to work with is carefully crafted to address the root of most life challenges. It's designed to speak directly to your subconscious mind, that part of you that controls about 90% of your daily thoughts and actions. Most people spend their days running on autopilot, letting their subconscious patterns determine their experiences. But when we consciously choose to feed our subconscious mind with loving, empowering messages, everything begins to shift. The magic happens because we're writing this statement exactly 10 times. 10 is a number of completion and new beginnings. In many spiritual traditions, 10 represents the cycle of wholeness. We have 10 fingers, 10 toes, and when we count to 10, we start over again. Writing something 10 times allows us to move through any initial resistance our mind might have, while also avoiding the overwhelming feeling that can come from doing too much too soon. The statement we'll be working with is this: I am worthy of all the love, abundance, and joy that life has to offer, and I welcome these blessings now. This isn't just a pretty phrase or wishful thinking. Every word has been chosen with intention and care. When we declare our worthiness, we're addressing one of the deepest wounds most people carry, the belief that they're not good enough, not deserving of good things, somehow flawed or broken. The beauty of this statement lies in its completeness. We're not just affirming our worthiness in one area of life, but opening ourselves to love in all its forms: romantic love, friendship, family love, and most importantly, self-love. We're claiming our right to abundance, not just financial abundance, but abundance of opportunities, experiences, health, and creativity. We're welcoming joy, that natural state of being that so many of us have forgotten we deserve. The final part of the statement, and I welcome these blessings now, is particularly powerful because it brings everything into the present moment. We're not saying these good things might happen someday if we're lucky. We're declaring our readiness to receive them right now, in this moment, exactly as we are. When you write this statement 10 times, you're not just practicing penmanship. You're literally reprogramming your relationship with yourself and with life itself. You're telling every cell in your body, every corner of your mind, every aspect of your spirit that you're ready for something beautiful to unfold. Now, as beautiful as this sounds, I want to be completely honest with you about something that might happen when you first begin this practice. Your mind might resist. In fact, it probably will resist, and that's perfectly normal and expected. This resistance isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong or that the practice won't work for you. It's actually a sign that you're touching something real and powerful within yourself. You see, your mind has been running certain programs for years, maybe decades. These programs have kept you safe in their own way, even if they haven't kept you happy. When we begin to introduce new thoughts, new possibilities, new ways of seeing ourselves, the mind can get a little nervous. It's like a protective friend who's been watching out for you, even if their methods haven't always been helpful. When you write, I am worthy of all the love, abundance, and joy that life has to offer, your mind might immediately jump in with responses like, that's not true, or who are you kidding, or if you were really worthy, your life would look different by now. These thoughts aren't your truth speaking. They're old programming trying to maintain the status quo. Some people notice physical sensations when they write positive statements about themselves. Your chest might feel tight, your stomach might flutter, or you might feel an urge to stop writing altogether. This is your nervous system responding to unfamiliar territory. For so long, it has been accustomed to thoughts of limitation, worry, or self-criticism. When we introduce thoughts of worthiness and abundance, the system needs a moment to adjust. The beautiful thing about understanding this resistance is that we don't need to fight it or make it wrong. We can acknowledge it with the same loving kindness we'd show to a worried child. We can say, "Thank you, mind, for trying to protect me. I understand you're concerned about this new direction, but I'm ready to explore new possibilities now." Sometimes the resistance shows up as practical concerns. Your mind might say things like, "This is too simple to work," or "Successful people don't just write things down and expect life to change," or "I should be doing something more concrete and realistic." These thoughts sound very reasonable, very logical, but they're often fear dressed up as practicality. The truth is that the most profound changes often come through the simplest practices. The most successful people throughout history have understood the power of aligning their inner world with their outer goals. They knew that what we think and believe on the deepest level shapes everything we experience. Other times, resistance might show up as forgetfulness or procrastination. You might fully intend to do your writing practice, but somehow days slip by without you sitting down with pen and paper. Or you might find yourself making the practice more complicated than it needs to be, thinking you need special paper, a specific time of day, or perfect conditions before you can begin. This is why persistence is so important, but persistence with gentleness. We're not trying to force ourselves into a new way of being. We're lovingly, consistently, patiently guiding ourselves toward thoughts and beliefs that serve our highest good. Each time you sit down to write, even if your mind is chattering with doubt, you're choosing love over fear, possibility over limitation. If you notice skepticism arising, try to greet it with curiosity rather than judgment. Skepticism often comes from past disappointments, times when we hoped for something and it didn't happen the way we expected. Your skeptical thoughts are trying to protect you from future hurt. You can honor this protection while still choosing to move forward. The key is to write your statement regardless of how you're feeling in the moment. You don't need to feel worthy to write about worthiness. You don't need to believe in abundance to declare your openness to it. The writing itself, done consistently with love, gradually creates the feelings and beliefs that support your new reality. Creating the right environment for your writing practice is like preparing a sacred space for transformation. This doesn't mean you need candles, crystals, or elaborate rituals, though you're welcome to include anything that feels supportive. What matters most is that you're treating this practice with respect and intentionality. Choose a quiet space where you won't be interrupted for at least 10 minutes. This might be a corner of your bedroom, your kitchen table early in the morning, or even your car before work. The location is less important than your commitment to showing up consistently in that space. The time of day you choose can significantly impact your experience. Many people find that writing first thing in the morning, before the mind gets busy with daily concerns, allows for deeper connection with the practice. In those quiet morning moments, we're often more receptive to new ideas and less defended against positive change. However, if mornings don't work for your schedule, any consistent time will do. Some people love writing before bed, letting the positive statements be the last thoughts they feed their mind before sleep. Others prefer afternoon writing sessions as a way to reset their energy and refocus their intentions for the remainder of the day. What's most important is choosing a time when you can be fully present. If you're rushing through the practice or mentally preparing for your next task, you'll miss much of the transformative power. This is your time to connect with yourself, to plant seeds of positive change, to communicate with the loving intelligence that guides your life. Gather your materials mindfully. Choose a pen that feels good in your hand and flows smoothly across the paper. Select paper that invites you to write. This might be a beautiful journal, simple notebook paper, or even index cards. Some people prefer lined paper because it helps them write neatly, while others like blank pages that feel more open and free. Before you begin writing, take a moment to center yourself. This isn't about perfection or achieving any particular state of mind. It's simply about arriving fully in this moment, in this space, with this intention. You might take 3 deep breaths, place your hand on your heart, or simply pause to acknowledge that you're about to do something loving for yourself. When you pick up your pen, hold it with the same reverence you might hold something precious. This pen is about to become an instrument of transformation, a tool for creating positive change in your life. The paper before you is not just paper. It's a canvas for new possibilities, a sacred space where your highest intentions can take form. As you begin to write, let each letter be formed with intention. Don't rush through the words as if you're copying a grocery list. Each word matters. Each letter is important. When you write I, really connect with that word. This is you claiming your identity as someone worthy of good things. When you write am, feel the power of present tense being. You're not saying you will be worthy someday. You are worthy right now. As the words flow from your pen onto the paper, something magical begins to happen inside you. This isn't just in your imagination. There are real, measurable changes occurring in your brain, your nervous system, and your energy field. Scientists have discovered that the act of writing positive statements activates neural pathways associated with optimism, self-worth, and possibility. The first time you write the statement, you might notice your inner critic trying to interfere. That's perfectly normal. Simply acknowledge these thoughts and return your attention to the words you're writing. By the 3rd or 4th repetition, something often begins to soften. The resistance might not disappear completely, but it usually becomes less intense. Many people report feeling a sense of warmth or opening in their chest area as they continue writing. This is your heart center responding to the loving words you're offering yourself. For so long, many of us have spoken to ourselves harshly, critically, conditionally. When we begin to offer ourselves unconditional love and acceptance through our writing, the heart recognizes this gift and responds with expansion. You might notice your breathing becoming deeper and more relaxed as you write. This is your nervous system shifting from a state of tension or vigilance into a state of receptivity and peace. When we feel safe and worthy, our entire body relaxes into its natural state of well-being. Some people experience gentle tingling sensations in their hands or arms while writing. This is energy moving through your system, old patterns releasing, new possibilities anchoring themselves in your physical experience. Don't worry if you don't feel anything dramatic. Everyone's experience is unique, and subtle shifts are just as powerful as obvious ones. By the 5th or 6th repetition, you might find that the words begin to feel more true, more natural, more like something you could actually believe about yourself. This is the beginning of genuine transformation. You're not just writing words on paper anymore. You're rewiring your relationship with yourself at the deepest level. As you approach the 7th, 8th, and 9th repetitions, pay attention to any images or feelings that arise. You might see flashes of how your life could look when you truly believe in your worthiness. You might feel excited about possibilities you hadn't considered before. These glimpses are like previews of your emerging reality. When you write that 10th and final statement, take a moment to really feel what you've just accomplished. You've just spent focused time and energy declaring your worthiness, opening yourself to love and abundance, and welcoming joy into your life. You've created a written record of your intentions, a physical manifestation of your commitment to positive change. After completing your 10 statements, don't rush immediately into your next activity. Sit quietly for a moment and notice how you feel. Some people feel energized and uplifted. Others feel peaceful and centered. Some experience a combination of emotions as old patterns release and new possibilities emerge. Whatever you're feeling is perfect for you in this moment. The magic of this practice extends far beyond the 10 minutes you spend with pen and paper. What you've just created through your writing begins to ripple out into every area of your life in ways that might surprise and delight you. The words you've written aren't just sitting quietly on the page. They're actively working in your subconscious mind, creating new neural pathways and shifting your energy in directions that align with love, abundance, and joy. In the hours and days following your writing practice, you might notice subtle changes in how you respond to situations. Perhaps someone offers you a compliment, and instead of immediately deflecting it or minimizing it, you find yourself simply saying thank you and actually receiving the kind words. This shift happens because you've been affirming your worthiness, and your mind is beginning to accept that positive feedback aligns with this new truth about yourself. You might discover that opportunities begin presenting themselves in unexpected ways. A friend mentions a job opening that sounds perfect for you. Someone invites you to an event that leads to meaningful connections, or you find yourself in the right place at the right time for something wonderful to unfold. These aren't coincidences. They're the natural result of your energy shifting to match your written declarations. The beautiful truth about this work is that the universe responds to our internal state. When we truly begin to believe in our worthiness, when we open ourselves to receiving good things, when we welcome joy as our natural birthright, life has a way of organizing itself to support these beliefs. Doors open that seemed locked before, people treat us differently, and we make choices that honor our newfound sense of self-worth. To support this integration process, it's helpful to stay aware of the small shifts happening around you. Keep a simple journal where you can note positive experiences, unexpected opportunities, or moments when you felt particularly worthy or loved. This isn't about proving that the practice works. It's about training your mind to notice the good that's already flowing into your life. Sometimes the changes are so gradual that we might miss them if we're not paying attention. You might realize after a few weeks that you've been speaking more kindly to yourself, or that you've been making choices that better support your well-being. These subtle shifts are often the most lasting because they happen naturally, without force or strain. It's also important to align your actions with your written intentions. If you're declaring your worthiness of love, abundance, and joy, begin making choices that reflect this belief. This might mean setting healthier boundaries in relationships, investing in experiences that bring you happiness, or simply treating yourself with more kindness throughout the day. When opportunities arise, practice saying yes to things that align with your highest good. If someone invites you to something that sounds interesting, but your old patterns would have you decline because you don't feel worthy or deserving, consider that this might be the universe responding to your written requests. Trust that you deserve good experiences and allow yourself to receive them. As you continue this practice, you'll likely encounter various experiences that others have shared over the years. Understanding that you're not alone in this journey can provide tremendous comfort and encouragement. Many people report that within the first week of consistent writing, they notice improved sleep patterns. This happens because we're releasing mental tension and replacing worry thoughts with loving affirmations before bed. Others share that their relationships begin to improve, sometimes in miraculous ways. When we change our relationship with ourselves, when we truly begin to believe in our worthiness of love, we naturally attract more loving people into our lives while simultaneously becoming less tolerant of relationships that don't honor our worth. Financial shifts are also common, though they might not look exactly like we expect. Someone might receive an unexpected refund, find money they'd forgotten about, or discover a new income opportunity. More importantly, many people notice that their relationship with money becomes healthier, less fearful, more trusting, more aligned with abundance thinking. If you find that your mind tries to dismiss positive experiences as just coincidence, gently remind yourself that the universe often works through what appears to be coincidence. When we're aligned with love and abundance, lucky things happen more frequently. This isn't magic in the supernatural sense. It's the natural result of shifting our energy and awareness. Some people worry that they're not doing the practice right if they don't see dramatic changes immediately. Please be gentle with yourself about timing. Transformation happens on many levels: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. And each person's journey unfolds at exactly the right pace for them. Trust that every time you sit down to write, you're creating positive change, even if you can't see it yet. If you encounter days when the practice feels difficult or when doubt creeps in strongly, this is often a sign that you're approaching a breakthrough. Our old patterns tend to resist most strongly just before they dissolve. Continue with love and patience, knowing that persistence with gentleness always creates lasting change. Once you've established a comfortable rhythm with your daily writing practice, you might feel called to expand and deepen your experience. This natural desire to grow your practice is beautiful and should be honored. There are many ways to enhance this work while maintaining its essential simplicity and power. Consider creating a special ritual around your writing time. This might involve lighting a candle, playing soft music, or beginning with a moment of gratitude. These additions aren't necessary for the practice to work, but they can help create a sacred container for your transformation work. Some people enjoy varying the physical aspects of their practice. You might write in different locations occasionally, by a window where morning light streams in a garden where you feel connected to nature, or in a cozy corner that feels particularly nurturing. Different environments can bring different energies to your practice. You might also experiment with writing your statement in different ways. Try writing it in beautiful script one day, in bold print another day, or even decorating the page with simple drawings or designs. The key is to keep your attention focused on the words while allowing creativity to enhance your connection to the practice. After several weeks of consistent practice, you might feel guided to add a second statement that addresses a specific area where you'd like to see growth. If relationships are particularly important to you, you might add, "I attract loving, supportive relationships that honor my worth." If career fulfillment is calling to you, consider, "I am guided to work that expresses my gifts and brings me joy." Remember that expansion should feel natural and inspiring, not overwhelming. If adding elements to your practice begins to feel complicated or burdensome, return to the simple beauty of writing your original statement 10 times. There's infinite power in this basic practice, and you never need to do more than this to experience profound transformation. Some people create beautiful handmade books specifically for their writing practice, turning each page into a work of art. Others prefer the simplicity of writing on loose paper that they can release ceremonially, perhaps burning the pages safely as a way of sending their intentions to the universe. Creating accountability with a friend or family member can also support your expanding practice. You might find someone who wants to begin their own writing practice and agree to check in with each other regularly. Sharing your experiences and encouraging each other can deepen the impact for both of you. As your practice matures, you'll likely find that the 10 minutes of writing becomes an anchor point for your entire day. The peace and self-love you cultivate during this time naturally radiates into all your other activities, relationships, and decisions. My beautiful friend, as we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to know how proud I am of you for being here, for being open to positive change, for being willing to try something new that could transform your life. The fact that you've listened this far tells me that you're ready for something wonderful to unfold. The practice I've shared with you today, writing, "I am worthy of all the love, abundance, and joy that life has to offer, and I welcome these blessings now 10 times each day," is a gift you can give yourself every single day for the rest of your life. It costs nothing except a few minutes of your time, yet its value is immeasurable. What you're really doing through this practice is remembering who you truly are. Beneath all the stories you've been told about yourself, beneath all the limitations you may have accepted, beneath all the fears and doubts that have accumulated over the years, there lives a magnificent being who is absolutely worthy of every good thing life has to offer. You don't need to earn this worthiness. You don't need to prove it or achieve it or wait until you're somehow different or better. Your worthiness is your birthright, given to you the moment you arrived on this earth. What we're doing through this writing practice is simply clearing away the clouds that have been hiding this truth from you. Every time you write these words, you're not creating something new. You're uncovering something that has always been true. You're polishing the diamond of your true self until it shines so brightly that no one, including you, can deny its brilliance. Start tomorrow morning, or start tonight, or start right now. Take any piece of paper and any pen and begin. Write those words 10 times with all the love you can muster. Do this tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. Do it when you feel like it and when you don't feel like it. Do it when you believe the words and when you're not sure if you believe them yet. Watch as your life begins to shift in ways both subtle and profound. Notice how your energy changes, how your relationships evolve, how opportunities present themselves, how joy becomes a more frequent visitor in your daily experience. You are worthy of all the love, abundance, and joy that life has to offer, and you can welcome these blessings now. This isn't just something beautiful to write on paper. This is the absolute truth about who you are. Thank you for allowing me to remind you of your magnificent worth. Now go and write your way into the beautiful life that's waiting for you.